Welcome back to the WaspCast. In this weekly podcast, we will recap last week's win against the Jaguars, and we will look forward to tomorrow night against the Chargers. We will also be doing weekly predictions and covering everything Chiefs related. I'm Cameron, joined with Noah and Kane.
Hello.
Yo,
Hello.
we are back from our little bye week,
Yep, schedules weren't aligning up very well, so we decided we're just gonna take a week off, and
and this week's was almost chalked too,
yeah, it was
but we found a way.
it's a busy part of the year.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start it out with last week's game versus the Jags.
Yep.
You want to start us out?
You.
All right. I thought we looked pretty good. Special teams still has some glaring issues that we need to work on. Kadarius Sony was out to return some punts last week. It didn't go south, but there were a lot of close calls. Like, that dude's a psychopath, that returner. There was one time where the ball was down and he just made a full-on sprint for the ball, which is like the number one thing you're taught not to do. But it didn't hurt us. I'm just hoping that he doesn't keep doing it and it does eventually hurt us, or it doesn't eventually hurt us. We also gave up a fumble on a kick return to end the half, and there's one other mistake special teams wise that I can't think of. Did we fumble a punt or something?
Mm-mm.
What was the other turnover we had? Oh, it was a pick, wasn't it?
No, it was the
Yeah, it
fumble
was
and
a
the
pig.
kickoff at the end of the half.
Yeah, I already said that.
Oh, I
And
don't
then
know.
the pick. Yeah, offensively, I thought we looked good. I think the Clyde Edwards-Helaire experiment might be over.
Thank God.
Yeah, in the past 3 games, in week 7, he had a 25% or 29% offensive snap share. He had 6 touches. In week 9, he had 15% with 5 touches, and last week he only played 6% of snaps and got 0 touches. Whereas Isaiah Pacheco played a majority of the snaps last week, had 16 carries for 82 yards, 5.1 yards per carry, and 1 fumble, which is, besides the fumble, he played a pretty good game in my opinion. So I think we should definitely expect Isaiah to be our guy for the rest of the season.
In the rest of his career, hopefully.
Hopefully. I think Isaiah has an insanely bright future.
We
He
finally
runs
have a good
hard.
running back.
He runs like he's constantly mad. Like, and especially after that fumble last week, he just ran pissed off, and you could tell that it was working.
Noah.
Yeah.
Objections there.
Whatever, I agree with what King said. His button missed another hit last week, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's a major issue. You
I
absolutely
want to
cannot.
talk a little bit about that. Are you concerned about Harrison Butker, or when is it time to start hitting the panic button about it, or is it an overreaction?
No,
I,
it's
I,
definitely an
I've,
overreaction.
I've been concerned about it for weeks. That's why I keep saying it on the podcast. You need to make your
This
hits.
happened. This happened the year with the Browns.
You need to make your
It's the
hits.
same
You
thing.
cannot. First off, we lost the Colts game because of the rest, and we don't need the rest to screw that game up if he makes his hits.
Oh
And
no, he was hurt that week. That
well,
was
make hits in general. Sorry, mainly what I meant. But it's an issue. You need to make your hits, or else, um, uh, January and February, you're gonna lose the game because you can't make your hits.
I
I don't know. I don't know if I can trust him to make an in-running hit in February.
I am extremely confident with him as a field goal kicker. I think he's one of the best field goal kickers in the league. But for whatever reason, when it comes to kicking at PAT, I don't know if he is overthinking it, just not trying with the PAT, but I don't know, something seems off with him in PATs. It seemed that way his entire career, at least this year and last year. It feels like pretty much every game he misses the PAT.
If you ask me, and this is purely speculation, I have absolutely no insight. But I still think he's hurt.
He went out and said that he's not 100%.
Oh, yeah.
He said that he's not 100%. Um,
I did not
I
hear
think it
this, but
was like a week ago. He said that he's not blaming it on that, but he did say he's not 100%. And
Yeah.
I think it's a complete overreaction, and it's definitely not every game that he misses an extra point. That's for sure.
Definitely not every game, but it feels pretty common.
and they're
More
gonna
common
aim.
than it should
Time, it'll
be.
be fine. Like he's the second best kicker in the league, and it's not close.
Yeah.
He's a good kicker. What it is a serious question though. Is there a game this season where he has not missed a PAT or a field goal?
Yes,
Yes.
I think.
Since he got hurt? Like, week one?
I'm not sure what game specifically, but I'm sure there's been a game.
I think there might be one game where he's been perfect. Maybe.
It's just crazy. Like at this point, I almost feel more confident with him hitting a 50-yarder than him hitting a PAT.
Wait, here's the meanest. Mizzou. You send him out for a 50-yard field goal, 100% he's making it. You put him in for a 20-yard PAT or whatever, he's missing. Half the time. It's nuts. Like, it's almost like some. It's weird. Some colleges. This is not a college football podcast, obviously. But some college teams, they have two kickers. They have a long kicker, and they have, like, a short range kicker. And it's for that reason right there. Like, seriously? Like, we need to. I really think we need to figure this out. Because I can totally see us losing a playoff game because we miss a kick.
Yeah, I'm sort of in between you two. Like I definitely don't think it's time to panic, but I think it's a little concerning in that it's something that if we don't fix, it could have major implications on us later in the year.
Another thing is, we already established that he's not 100%. Like, if he was 100%, I have confidence in him, being perfect. Like he has been in the past years. But, how confident are we that he is at 100% before the games matter? In, like, January. Like,
I'm pretty confident.
He's gonna gradually get better. Obviously, I mean it was just a rolled ankle. Obviously, rolled ankles suck, but it should be healed
but
by
for
16 weeks after.
right, it's
No kicker is perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
right, like missing it every
everyone
week.
kicks. Okay, but we've seen that before, and he's definitely came back from it and
Yeah.
proved us wrong.
I think especially playoff time, he locks it in. I can't remember very many missed kicks in the playoffs from.
I don't know if he's ever missed
Alright.
a kick in the
Maybe,
playoffs.
yeah. I mean,
He is solid.
he drilled a game tying 50+ yarder in the AFC divisional round last year to send it to OT.
I suppose I should clarify my statement. I'm not concerned about him if he's healthy. I'm concerned about whether or not he can get healthy before we need him to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because if he's not healthy, I am very concerned about him costing us a playoff game. If he is healthy, then I don't really have any issues.
That's fair.
That's where I'm at.
All right, let's move on to
Enough
the
of the
defensive
Harrison
side of the
Butker
ball.
hate.
Yeah. Yeah, a few weeks ago, Cameron said that our D line needs to be better. We were getting pressure, but we couldn't convert anything into sacks. And I think they listened to that podcast because they have been dominating the last few
Yeah.
weeks.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly the stats for previous weeks, but last week against the Jaguars, we sacked them 5 times. And going into Sunday's game, the Jaguars have given up the second least amount of sacks in the NFL. So that's a huge win for us.
I do want to mention that is a brilliant analysis, Cameron, that we should, get to the point of that quicker. However, I do want to point out, and I've done no research on this at all, But, I mean, you can get pressure on the quarterback, but if your PBs aren't doing their job, like, the quarterback's gonna have time to get the ball out, no matter how quick you get there.
Yeah.
So that's, like, the fact that we were getting pressure on the quarterback, they're doing their job, but the PBs aren't doing their job to the point where, I mean, the D-line is irrelevant at times.
Really,
Yeah.
I mean, looking at our D line group, I think everybody has just been phenomenal this year. I mean, in
George
years previous,
Karlaftis hit me.
and even George Karloftis is. I don't even think he's a starter. Like, he's not getting a ton of playing time.
I
He's
think
getting some, obviously, but and whenever he does get playing time, he's looked great. But
I think I heard a stat in the Ants game that George Karlaftis had the most hit passes or something like that out of the entire NFL. That's insane.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like for
And
a rookie,
like going back to previous years, it feels like our D line has had a guy who's underperformed, and I really can't think of that or of anybody who's done that this year. Like last year, it was Frank Clark. You know, there was a lot of Frank Clark this year. This year, Frank Clark's done pretty well in my opinion. Chris
Yes.
Jones has obviously been Chris Jones. Chris or Chris Dunlap, right? Is that it? Or what's his first
No,
name?
Carlos done that.
Carlos Dunlap. That was stupid. Carlos Dunlap has been a gem for us, and I don't think he's getting nearly enough credit for it. I think it was a huge signing. 1 year contract. I think we didn't pay him a lot of money, but he's getting the job done. I feel like every week he's making a big play for us.
Yeah, I mean, um, I really thought the defense looked good. Um, Trent McDuffie obviously looked amazing. Let up
Trent
one.
McDuffie's been great.
He let up one pass and it was a diving. He let up one catch and it was a diving catch. Great catch
Yeah.
by the receiver. Out of every snap he's played, that's the only catch he's allowed. Especially coming off an injury, that's even more impressive. But overall, I think we played really good last week, and I was really happy with. I mean, both sides of the ball. Travis
Yeah,
Kelsey got his first touchdown since week 5.
I think we played a really sound game last week. We
Yeah,
didn't blow them out or anything, but I mean, first of all, I think the Jags are a lot better than their record shows, and I just think we played a good game. I'm also very surprised with Trevor Lawrence. I thought he played a very good game last week.
I'm not
yeah,
surprised. I'm not surprised by that at all.
He's been good this year, but last year he kind of
I've
sucked.
always well, he had no head coach.
Yeah, that's true.
I have
Well, he did.
always,
He was just a little preoccupied,
to be fair, I have always been a Trevor Lawrence fan. I thought that he was going not immediately because he was on the Jets, but I always kind of thought he was going to have a good career. And with Doug Peterson and Jacksonville, I mean, him and I say it every week. The Jets are better than whatever their record is. What, 3 and whatever it is now? Like, the Jets are a good football team, even if
3-7, I think maybe. I don't
My
know.
face cam always so bright.
even if they
Sorry.
don't show it, like, even if they're not winning the games, they have the fundamentals of a good football team. And
Yeah,
it's hard to win in the National Football League, so, like, the fact that these games are close, I mean, was it them that they lost, like, 6 of the 7 losses have all been, like, by one
1
possession?
point or one
One
possession. Yeah,
possession?
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
In the
and
final 2 minutes,
Like, they've been in all of these games.
yeah,
they've not got
and
blown out once.
and while we're on the topic of the defense, we didn't have a pod last week, but I feel like we should mention it. The defense pretty much single-handedly won us the game against the Texans.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
probably
I
the
mean, they
best out of
kept us in it the
the
entire time.
Texans.
Obviously, or the Titans, Jesus Kane. Obviously, they had a backup quarterback, but they contained Derrick Henry, which is no small feat.
Yeah, we held them under 100 yards.
I mean,
Wait,
the first
did he?
half was a little rough, but the second
Wasn't it like
half,
82 or something like
He
that?
hit like
I think
82 in the
he
first half and like 10 in the second
2.
half.
13 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like this is obviously an exaggeration, but I feel like the Kings have historically done a good job at containing that guy. Everybody makes
oh
a
yeah,
big
we're the
deal,
only people that have.
Eric Henry, this and that. The Kings historically have done a good job at shutting that guy down to the point where he is basically irrelevant. When he comes
Yeah,
to Arrowhead, he does nothing.
he's never had over 100 yards against us.
He's got a stat point, yes. I
It's a
assume
stat.
it's. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Um, shout out
any
to our soccer team for just
they won
winning in
today?
overtime and
Nice.
just won in overtime. Took third place in state
Got screwed out of
for the
a,
second time in a row.
got screwed out of a,
Who scored the game winner?
Mason.
Ah, okay, that doesn't surprise me.
shout out in the West that totally cost us the chance down state championship game.
Yep.
I hope you, sleep well tonight knowing that you, handed Marshall a win. Anywho,
Yeah.
um,
I don't like blaming any game on the refs though, just because
but
I
that one
like.
was clearly a issue,
I mean,
in my opinion.
yeah, but we shouldn't have been in that position anyway. Like,
Anyway,
we
this
put
is a
ourselves in that position.
high school, or this is a football podcast, not a.
I'm just
We
talking
like
about in
talking about
general.
football.
Yeah.
We like talking about football.
I saw somebody. Again, this has nothing to do with football. I saw somebody on Twitter blamed the refs over a 5-2 hockey loss against the Blues. I was like, explain to me how the ref gave us 3 goals. Like,
And him and I typically agree about blaming the refs, but going back to that one game, it was 2-1. Granted, that was our own fault, 2-1. Yeah, but we should have got a penalty kick that could have made it 2-2, and then right after they got a free kick that was questionable, in my opinion, and they made it 3-1 off on that free kick. So, I mean, in general, though, I do agree with not, blaming the
yeah.
refs, because teams have chances.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts for last week's game?
My final thoughts are let's get on to these predictions.
Oh, wait. My final thoughts are that the Jags are a bunch of head-hunting morons.
No, that one guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's just that one guy. But come on, like you hurt Juju, and then
And then you go and try and hurt
2 plays later, you do
Marquez.
basically the same exact thing against MVS. Like
Speaking about the refs, how is that not a penalty?
that is true. That has to be called.
Anywho, I this. Now it is time for Cameron's favorite part of the week. It's
in
time to predict week
week
11.
of the NFL. Let's get right
A
into it.
lot of mustard on that NFL.
Yes, sir.
As you see,
Thursday
I got the
night
games
football.
up here. Thursday
Titans,
night
Packers.
football. The Packers with another loss.
The Titans might be the worst 7-3 team in a while. I'm gonna
That's
be
not true at
honest.
all. I
I
think
just
they're
you know,
a very good team. They almost
they're
beat
good.
us with a backup quarterback.
You're right. We played like crap.
And Ryan Tannehill
To be
absolutely
fair-
went off against the Packers.
To be fair,
Yeah.
Malik Willis is better than Tannehill.
But last year they had the worst first seed team in a while.
Last
Malik
year was
Willis.
terrible.
Malik Willis is what everyone says Lamar Jackson is. He cannot throw.
Malik
Yeah,
Willis,
right.
I think will be better than Ryan Tannehill
I
once
get it.
he develops. But as of
Maybe.
right now,
But Ryan Tannehill's been doing crazy
yeah.
recently. The game's
Recently,
been
maybe,
crazy.
yes.
Ryan Tannehill is very bipolar. One week he'll like. I mean, really, for Ryan Tannehill, it all just depends on Derrick Henry. Like, if Derrick Henry's doing good and they can establish the play action game,
I mean,
then
yeah,
Ryan
that's why
Tannehill's going to go off.
that's why I
But
think
if
he gets a lot of
not, then
hate
he's
is because
screwed.
the play calls are not for him to be able to even pass
Yeah.
the ball a lot of times because they want to establish the run. That's their number one goal. So he doesn't even get the chance to pass the ball. That's why his passing stats look so low half the time.
My issue is that
Um,
he makes a lot of dumb decisions. He throws the ball. I'm like, what are you trying to throw it into the team? Like, what are you trying to do here? But,
Yep.
in the end, Titans in a 10-point victory on the road in Lambeau. I got nothing to say about that because the Packers are terrible. Bears at Falcons.
I do want to say real quick,
Okay.
Christian Watson season. Anyway,
Well, I
he
just find it really ironic how um the entire year Aaron Rodgers is like, I have no help, and then because really he hasn't had a lot of help, and then as soon as their wide receivers are doing their job and start getting butt cheeks wide
he
open,
cannot
Aaron
make a
Rodgers just
throw.
misses all of them.
I know he missed so many throws last week, but Christian Watson now leads the rookie receivers in touchdowns. He had 0 2 weeks ago, and now he leads them. So
Dang.
that's pretty
With
crazy.
how many?
6.
He has 6 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
He
Yep.
had 4
Oh my
He
god.
had 4 against Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. And he had 2 last
Yep.
week.
Mhm.
Christian Watson, the
He
goat.
gets out in what Aaron Jones 8-point touchdowns. That would be
I picked
awesome.
him up and I have him in my lineup, so I'll keep taking that.
All right, let's move on to Bears at Falcons. I'll start. I have the Bears. I think Justin Fields has just been too different lately.
Agreed. Justin Fields has been absolutely insane lately.
I do agree with Justin Fields. However, will it
But
continue on the road in Atlanta? Who knows? Just because you went Bears, I'm going Falcons. No other reason.
fair enough.
This is purely a coincidental stat. This stat means absolutely nothing. But so far in the NFL season, teams who have played the Carolina Panthers are 0-9 the week after they play them, and Falcons just played Carolina last week, so maybe this stat will hold true. Next game, Panthers at Ravens. I have the Ravens. I think it should be a pretty dominant, no-brainer win.
Yeah, I agree. It won't be close in my opinion.
I also agree. However, who was the team that the Panthers beat? That was a surprise to everybody.
Bucks, I think. Didn't they beat the Bucks?
They did beat the Bucks, yes.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise.
But I mean,
Um,
if you're the Panthers right now, you don't even want to win this game. Like I feel like they're in full tank mode right now. I mean, who do you think goes #1 overall? CJ Stroud.
No.
if it's the
Um,
Panthers, definitely.
I mean, they need a QB. Yeah,
Bryce Young.
yeah, maybe. It's
One of
between
those
them two.
two,
They're
but
both
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, if it's a team that has a good quarterback, then
Then
I
they're probably gonna take a no tackle or
yeah,
something. That
or
seems.
something or a receiver or something. But this this draft is kind of stacked with um quarterbacks. So
What is the Super Bowl winner at the #1 pick? To avoid taking.
that would
There's one
that'd
team I
be
saw
cool.
that is doing really well that has Oh wait, maybe that's in the NBA. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say there's one team that's doing pretty well that has a pick from a team that's doing really bad.
Yeah, that's called the Pelicans, baby.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pelicans are getting the Lakers pick, and they're last in the league right now, baby.
The Lakers won the second game yesterday?
They're 3-10.
But hey, we got
We getting that
LeBron.
Wembanya guy or
Hey,
whatever.
we got LeBron, so it's all okay, right?
Have you guys seen that 2K glitch where like they like grow super tall and thin and like looks like an
Yeah.
alien?
Looks
That's
like a
what
freaking
Victor
yeah.
Wembanyama it
He
looks like.
does, dude. Did you guys
Really?
hear about Giannis pushing down that ladder?
Mhm.
See that clip? That was just
Yeah, that was
ridiculous.
funny.
It I mean, I think it
Podcast is
was
going
just
off the
Yeah,
rails this week, and I love
don't
it.
I
let
think
the
it
guy
I
shoot, man.
know. I think it was just dude, it was after the game, bro. Like the people had plenty of right to be taking the cameras off
Yeah.
the backboard and all that. But
Also, couldn't you have gone to the other paint?
I
Or was
know.
that?
The other one was already in.
Oh, okay.
But they could have waited 2 minutes, or he could have waited 2 minutes. He didn't have to push the ladder down.
No, they were
But
taking the entire bolt in.
I heard they were taking the camera down.
Oh, well. Possibly.
But
Uh,
anyway,
Where are we at?
Browns
Panthers?
Bills.
Yeah.
Browns Bills.
Browns at
Bills.
Browns Bills.
I have the Bills. When
I
does Deshaun come back? How many more weeks?
this week.
So this is the last week before.
No, this week he comes back.
Wait, I thought
Wait,
they
no,
played
you're
the
right.
Panthers or something, like some
No,
revenge
No,
he
team whenever he
plays
comes
at
or
the
Houston.
Texans.
It's
Oh,
next
okay,
week.
yeah. That's gonna be crazy.
But he's
That's gotta be on
practicing
prime
now
time.
still. But
I gotcha.
I got the Bills. If it was in the snow, I would have had the Browns. But
I
no,
agree
Do you
with
think?
that. I completely agree with that. The Bills fans, Bills Mafia are actually so young. They're sitting there
I know.
complaining because they got it moved. Like, y'all would
You
have
like
lost.
Nick Chubb would have ran on you for 400 yards.
You think you're throwing the ball in 8 feet of snow?
Yeah.
What?
It would have been such a fun game to watch, though.
It would
Do you
have,
think?
yeah.
Do you
But
think Deshaun
it was probably
Watson
for the
can
better.
turn the
No,
Brown season around?
no.
No,
I
I
think
don't
they're
think
gonna
so either.
regret paying him the money they did.
I think he'll be all right, just not enough to
In the
turn
preseason,
him
he looked
around.
horrible.
He did. Didn't he only play one game though, or like a
I
few
think
drives?
maybe, but because then all this stuff started
Yeah.
happening again or something.
Why? Not even going there. Commanders at Texans.
Commies.
Mm,
I thought the Texans were better than 1-7-1.
No.
I think
Oh, no, I
that
think they
in
look a little better.
a few years they're gonna be a good contender.
The Texans?
Yeah.
I'm riding
Possibly.
with Taylor
Give
Heineke, baby.
him a couple years, but yeah, if you have Taylor Heineke, I have the Commanders. If
I'm a
not, I
bit.
have the
I think
Texans.
Taylor Heineke's better than Carson
I don't
Wentz.
know why he's not been the starter. It's ridiculous to me. He almost beat the Bucks in the playoffs. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
He
every
almost
single
beat the
time,
Bucks. Like
Bro, they were
every
almost.
single time he's come off the bench and has had an opportunity to
he
play,
goes
he's showed
off.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were almost in the NFC Championship game with Taylor Heineke.
I know.
That's
It just is
insane.
ridiculous to me that they
Wasn't
just.
Fitzmagic their starting quarterback that year?
I think it was Alex Smith.
Mm.
I think it was
No,
Alex
they
Smith.
didn't want to
I don't
play
know.
Alex Smith.
Well, yeah, but he was the starting quarterback, and then he got hurt because they
Maybe.
weren't
Maybe.
sure.
Who
They
knows?
weren't sure if
Yeah,
he was good to go or not.
And
But
yeah, because I
spoiler.
remember it was like
Yeah,
a game time decision thing.
that's right. And spoiler alert, he was, but, the head coach didn't want to play him. For whatever reason that may be. Who knows? But,
well,
yeah.
the man did almost die.
He did.
Um, Eagles, Colts, Eagles.
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 Eagles fly, Eagles fly.
I'm sorry, in the year there was
Oh,
my
the
50.
victory. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna
they're
lose by
pissed
50,
off.
probably.
Who is?
The Colts are gonna lose by
Oh,
50.
yeah. Although I could
They're
see,
pissed
I
off.
don't know, Jeff Saturday winning last week was kind of a surprise to me.
Can you
They played the
imagine? Jeff
Ravens.
Saturday, like,
Okay, but
this is
still,
the
I
thing that's
mean,
gonna frustrate me. Like, Jeff Saturday's gonna pop off, like, turn this team around, and then he's gonna get fired over the
yeah,
offseason.
because
Just
they're
like
gonna
that.
find a new head coach.
Just like that guy did for the Raiders, they should have kept their interim head coach because he completely turned their season around, took them to the
Yeah.
playoffs, and they just kicked him to the curb. It was insane. And now they have freaking Josh McDaniels,
Yeah, and the Raiders said that
who
they're
I
too
wouldn't
broke.
trust leading a McDonald's.
The
Like,
Raiders said that they're too broke to fire him, so he's gonna be with them at least for the
at
next
least,
2 years.
yeah.
But I actually just read something on my way home that
While you were
supposedly they
texting
might
and
be.
driving,
I was not.
immature.
I was at a stoplight, sir.
Oh, okay.
I saw that Derek Carr. They could cut Derek Carr next year, so they don't have to pay the remaining 3 years of his contract. Is what I saw. There's a
Wait.
rumor
Good
going
God,
around.
they're in shambles.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I don't
I mean,
know.
they could be another C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young candidate.
I mean, yeah.
They aren't
If they
doing
tank,
certain.
Yeah.
they could very well.
I mean, at this point, you might as well tank.
Yeah.
You already got to aim up on the Jaguars.
I mean, even if you win out at this point in the season, the odds of you making the playoffs are very slim.
Hell, all you gotta
This
do.
was Aaron Rodgers' plan all along. He lets Devontae go to the Raiders. They do terrible. Derek Carr gets cut. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders. Bang.
Oh. Except, how can they
Oh,
afford him? They can't
It was
freaking
just
even cut their.
well,
I think he would take a $1,000 deal to get out of Green Bay
yeah.
right now.
Yeah. All right.
Jets
Jets,
Patriots.
Patriots.
This
This
is our
is
first game of
our
the week.
first game of the week. I
Jets.
have
Divisional match.
Jets, Jets
Same.
by 20.
By 20. This
No,
was a close
I was
one
just
because
saying randomly, but I think they'll win in a pretty good fashion.
both of these teams have a pretty solid defense. And both of them sort of have question marks offensively. Obviously, the Pats aren't
Have
very
Ramondre
good
Stevenson that's been freaking
offensively. Yeah.
going off.
Both
Like
these
he's kind of
teams
been their whole offense. So
both of these teams have good running backs in Ramondre Stevenson and James Robinson, right? He's on the Jets now,
yeah,
right?
I feel bad for
But
Brees Hall, man.
they also both have question marks at QB and not a ton of wide receiver depth. So I think this is going to be a relatively low scoring game, defensive heavy. And I think the Pats have a better defense, but I think the
Whoa.
They
Jets
just have a
are.
better offense.
I think the Jets are going to have a better offense, and they're going to take this game.
You think the Jets and the Patriots have a better defense?
Yes. The Patriots'
Yeah, I don't
defense is
think it's
the
close.
only reason that they're
Matthew
even
Judon's the
considered
sack
good.
leader.
Oh,
Their
also,
cornerback core is
They're-
absurd.
Yeah, and their safeties are crazy too.
I mean, they have
yeah,
freaking
the Patriots defense.
they have
Devin
freaking
McCourty or
So,
something.
Bill
yeah,
Belichick at head coach. Of course, they're going to have a good
Yeah.
defensive core.
I'm mainly just questioning your, in my opinion, your underestimation of the Jets defense.
I mean, I think I think their
nothing to do with
defense
the
is good.
defense of the Patriots.
I
I
mean,
think
they
it's an
have
underestimation. He's just saying things are slightly better.
Sauce and Quinn Williams, right?
I
Really on the Jets, but I don't really know who else they have. If they have anybody else really notable,
their defense has kept them in most of their games.
they have. You're right. Yeah.
I read a stat. Since y'all want to make fun of me for hating on what's his face, Wilson. I can never think of his name.
Zach Wilson.
Sure, that guy. Yeah. His touchdown to interception ratio this year, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has more picks than he has touchdowns.
What's his interception to mom ratio this year?
Yeah.
That's something like 5 to a million.
See,
Like, come on.
That's what
That's
matters,
why
baby.
we think he's good.
That's the
why
only
we
thing
think
that
he's
matters.
good.
Oh, love it.
Anywho,
Chet or
I heard the Jets, but,
Zach Wilson for the Pro Bowl.
I heard
Started.
the Jets, but I think, James Robinson and that running back core is gonna run on the ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to
and
be a
score.
very close game.
It could be, but James Robinson hasn't done anything really.
This is going to have
got there.
huge playoff implications too, because
Yeah.
They had a bye
I
week
mean, I
last
feel
week,
like-
didn't
I feel like whoever wins this game could get the wild card spot for the playoff. I don't think either of them are going to win their division because they're just in such a tough division. But
I think
I
the
think-
Jets have a
well,
chance. I mean, they're tied for the
hang
division
on.
lead with the
they?
Bills.
Currently,
no, the Dolphins are
Or
in
no,
first.
sorry, you're right.
They
currently,
have a chance, but I just don't see them beating
tied for
either the
second.
Dolphins or the Bills. I could very easily see the AFC East having 3 playoff teams.
currently, all of the AFC East is in the playoffs currently.
The
So-
AFC East this year is what most people thought the AFC West was going to be.
Yeah.
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 I think Ramondre Stevenson is gonna go off just because I have him on my
Yeah.
fantasy team.
There was
Um,
somebody. There was somebody I picked up that. Oh wait, I picked up Kadarius Stoney this week, and I think he's gonna go off.
Kendrick had him.
He must have dropped him.
No way.
Unless I didn't get him from waivers, but I put him on waivers. Yep, I have Kadarius Stoney.
So,
Anyway, we
Rams
all the
at
Jets.
Saints.
Yep.
We all it is. Rams at Saints. This is interesting to me for all the wrong reasons. I'll, is Cooper Kupp still hurt, Damon?
He's on the IR.
He's on the IR. Hey, Saints. They are the home team, and the Rams don't have their really not only notable wide receiver.
I'd say the Rams because Allen Robinson's gonna step up, but Matthew Stafford's a racist and won't throw to him. So, I gotta go with the Saints.
Jesus, oh my God, you had 2 people go off for you this week, Cameron, or on Thursday.
I know.
It's gonna be a long week for me.
The
I have the Rams.
Rams. You see, I could easily see the Rams winning, but I'm just going with the Saints 'cause I think Jameis Winston is starting
I
this
just
week.
don't understand how they're 3-6.
Even with Andy Dalton, I don't think the Rams meet them without Cooper Kupp.
I could see this coming. They just went all in last year. Their goal was to win the Super Bowl last year, and that's all they had to think. They were not thinking about next season. They were thinking about last year. That's
I
literally
could
all
see
they were
them
thinking about.
sucking in a couple years, but I didn't think they'd have a fall off this drastically immediately.
Von
I
Miller
thought I
lost, but
thought
his
they'd
feet
have at
fell.
least another
Yo,
year
what
of
is Maryland
solid
doing?
wins.
Why are they 0 for
What?
2? We're talking, sorry, we're watching the football game. Ohio State's winning by, 9. Make that,
6?
6. Man, I get my math wrong. They were winning by 8, now they're winning by 6. It can only stupid if it don't work, Kane.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Anyway, Lions Giants.
Well, the Lions,
This
Giants.
Oh, I'm really tempted to pick the Lions, but I
I
don't.
am
I
too, but
can't.
I gotta
I
go with
gotta
the
pick the
Giants. The Giants
Giants.
have
Yeah,
looked really good.
me too. Who was the other team the Giants lost to? Was it the Seahawks?
Yeah, I think
Seahawks
Vanilla Vic's gonna
and
go off against the Lions.
Seahawks and 2.
The Seahawks and the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Vanilla
have the
Vic's
Giants.
gonna run for 300 yards.
Who the hell is Vanilla Vic?
Daniel Jones.
Oh, okay,
That's what
okay.
Saquon calls him.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I got the Giants. Oh, no, I really want the Lions to win.
I do too. I just want them to succeed. I can't wait for Jameson Williams to come back and see how he does with the Lions.
Mhm. All right, our next
Raiders
matchup.
at
Raiders
Broncos.
Broncos, Battle of the Poverty.
Yeah, the second game of the week. And this is purely a game of the week because these teams are too bad or so bad that it's going to be a good game. Have they faced off this year before already, or is their first? Is
I
this their
swore
first matchup?
no, they did, and the Raiders won. That's one of
The
their
Raiders
wins.
won. Okay.
Wait, the Raiders
Yeah,
won? I thought the Broncos won.
nope. Raiders won.
Huh.
But
All right, I'll start us out here. I think they're both extremely poverty. I think the Raiders are a little less poverty.
Outside of Sam Webb,
And
obviously.
yeah, Sam Webb has gotten a lot more playing time recently, and he's showed up, and I expect them to continue to get more playing time. I think he's gonna lock up Jerry Judy or whoever he's matched up against.
My boy's balling out.
Isn't Jerry Judy
Judy's
hurt? Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad. Who's their other
Cortland
wide
Sutton.
receiver?
Portland
Sutton. He's gonna
That man's
lock
kind of been
Portland
insane though.
Sutton
Not
up.
gonna lie.
Not as
But
insane as Samuel Webb.
true. People are
Who,
always
fun
saying
fact, is the last person to dunk a basketball on the Excelsior Springs High School team.
that is true.
But yeah, I have the Raiders.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go, I'm going Raiders.
I have the Raiders. And speaking of Sam Webb, I saw people saying that there's some people are praising him, which is good. but I saw someone was saying he was getting burnt a lot, and it's like,
Have you been watching the games?
have you been watching? Like, there may have been a few times where he's gotten beat, but he's an undrafted free agent. This is
Not,
one of like,
not even that.
I still wish the
Not
Chiefs
even that.
offered
How
a
many,
contract to
oh
him.
man,
how many quarterbacks walk up the receiver every play? Like, that doesn't
Turn Nick
happen
Duffy.
ever.
That's it.
That does
I
not
mean, yeah,
ever
every
happen.
cornerback's gonna get beat every once in a while, and I mean, it's ridiculous to me that people are saying this about like an undrafted free agent that has been playing, that's played this good for him.
The
It's like,
Rams,
how are
not
you
the
gonna,
Rams.
how you gonna say that?
The
Like,
Raiders defense has issues. And
they
Raiders
do.
fans are complaining about Sam Webb over all the other
And they
issues.
have bigger issues than just their defense.
And the Raiders fans don't know what they're talking about. And I'll leave it at that because I'll get flamed for being a Chiefs fan. And just, you know, you're just talking crap on the Raiders because you don't like them, but whatever. Just,
There's a lot of likable people on the Raiders.
but I got the Raiders, Kane got the Raiders,
Yep.
Hammond,
Broncos country. I tried.
That is a dangerously bad pick.
he said,
We'll see.
he
Be
said,
careful. It's spicy.
It's spicy.
wait, so you like on about this?
I'm going Broncos.
Alright. Cowboys at Vikings.
I want the Raiders to win, but
Cowboys at Vikings. I think this is going to be
this is
a
our
good game.
third game of the week, right?
Yep.
This is gonna be a great game.
Let me
I think it's
start.
going to be the best game of the week.
Let me start this off by saying, Buffalo. What happened? Wait, what?
Buffalo Bill, what happened?
What?
How's you lose a Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, like for real though. How do you lose that game?
How?
As
Josh Allen.
he says it,
You messed up.
Josh Allen and the Bills' offense buttholes were clinched a little extra tight, and his was clinched a little too tight.
Also, Buffalo fans. You don't want to talk about this, but Josh Allen, your perfect little quarterback, leads in the NFL in interceptions. So, hold that L. Back to the Vikings. That
The Vikings are great.
Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson connection.
Oh my
That-
God, might have
that
been the best
looked-
catch I've ever seen.
That looked.
It might
That's-
be out OBJ.
That's either tied or above it. There's no in between. There's no
it's
under
absurd.
it. That was I think
I feel like we
You
should
guys
just
can
give
call
like
me
a
crazy.
5-minute round of applause for that game because that was maybe the. I mean, it's the best game of the year for sure.
That,
Maybe
5
the best
seconds,
game
that's
in a
better.
while.
You guys can call me crazy, and you people watching can call me crazy. But Justin Jefferson, by the end of his career, he's gonna be the best wide receiver ever play football.
All right, now
And he
Cameron,
is
this
the
is
best
gonna
receiver
this
right
is
now.
gonna make you very mad, but in my AP Lang class, I was told to write an essay about something that is overrated. I may have chosen Justin Jefferson.
That's the worst thing.
What did
I
Morton
don't know what
say?
you're thinking.
Wait, is it Morton?
No,
No.
it's
Oh, okay.
somebody else.
That is
Look,
terrible.
no, hang on, just hear me out.
No, I
think
don't even
no,
want to
shut
hear
up.
this Bologna.
He's top
freaking
5. He's top
response.
5, top 3.
No,
I just
he's
don't
top
think he's
1,
top
and
1.
he's
I
top
just don't
2,
think
and
he's
he's not
top 1.
top 2.
I just
Wait.
don't think he's the best in the league right now.
He is. Who else is?
Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Cooper
No.
Kupp, I think are all better than him right now.
That's not even true at all. Look at the main. You have not watched the Viking games this season
I
besides
think-
that one.
I
If you have
think-
not paid, if you think that.
I
That's
think
ridiculous.
before last week, and this was one of my points.
No.
I think before last week, he was universally seen as top 3 or top 5. After last week, there are a bunch of people putting him at number 1, and I think that's because of recency bias.
No.
Um,
I don't care what you say. That is absolute redonkulous.
anywho, I have the Vikings winning this game. Hammond?
Also, I think I pissed off all the viewers. We had 5 viewers before that. I'm sorry, it was
Yeah,
a
after
bad
your
take.
ridiculous
It was a
take.
bad take. I'm sorry.
I have the Vikings.
I think eventually there's gonna be a Kirk Cousins game that he's gonna sell, and
Okay. And
I just don't know when it's gonna be. But I think it's coming, and I think against this great Dallas defense, I just don't think Kirk has what it takes to get it done. I have Dallas in this game.
okay, so here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
I agree with you first off. You know, if anybody here hates Kirk Cousins, it's me. But we can't keep saying that. We say
That
it.
was the first time I've said it.
No, I know, but I say it every week. And like I can't say that every week. I mean, people in general can't say that every week, just expecting it to
Because it's
happen.
working.
Like,
I mean, I've always said I think Kirk Cousins underrated.
at what point is it
Cowboys
real?
defense to me is starting to look a little softer and softer the
Oh
more.
my
I watch.
God. I think that's just a 2-pointer though. Yeah.
I thought you guys like totally disagreed with my take and like were saying
Sorry.
I'm right.
what-
I was like,
what was your
what?
take?
I didn't
I
even
said I
hit
think the
it.
Cowboys. I think the Cowboys defense. The more I watch, is getting softer and softer. Like they're becoming worse and worse the more I watch them. I feel like
I feel like that's bound to happen over the course of an NFL season,
it's
though.
because all their starting corners besides Diggs are hurt.
I should have chosen freaking Trayvon Diggs as semi overrated player.
He's actually like number 1 in coverage this year,
Hey,
or number 2.
Hayne,
Uh huh.
you're gonna A on the assignment.
I haven't gotten it back yet.
Oh, well, here's the trick. In school, you lie just to line up your paper.
I was kind of
That's
lying
true.
with half the stuff I said. I'm gonna
Whatever
be honest.
whatever has the best points, just make those points.
I don't know how many times.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, I don't really believe
Oh,
he's
okay. The
overrated.
viewers are already
But-
gone. They're not coming back.
I don't know how many times.
I don't. But like half of my points were BS. I just said stuff that made sense.
I don't know how many times in college I've lied about my opinion on like political topics or like that.
And I
Not an
couldn't-
A.
I couldn't think of anybody else. Justin Jefferson was the only person in my head, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll.
Hey, so do we all three have the Titans?
Shoot. I should have done that.
Tua turned the ball over.
Well,
Anyway.
actually, I did have a diss over Tua in my essay. I said I was listing people who I thought better, or who I thought was better than Justin Jefferson, and I said Tyreek Hill, who has made Tua Tagovailoa, who has been considered a bad quarterback, look like an MVP candidate.
Yeah. That's fair.
Back to your
Anyway,
regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, we've been on this for
This has been a fake.
This is a wild podcast.
We all three got the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I have the
No, he
I
has
have
the
the
Cowboys.
Cowboys, the Cowgirls,
You're nuts.
Bengals,
Bengals
Steelers.
at Steelers.
Bengals.
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 Thank God they flexed this
Bengals.
game back to 325 and gave us
Yeah.
Sunday night football.
Bengals. We'll get to this later, but we don't got Chiefs or the Chargers.
Chiefs.
And lastly, Monday night football.
Night football.
The 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals.
The 49ers.
Yes.
The 49ers, although I think it will be closer than people expect it to be.
Dude, Warzone just came out like 3 days ago. They are
You're
screwed.
right, you're right.
49ers are winning.
Would you guys be opposed to just doing the Thanksgiving games right now since we won't be able to do our predictions for them?
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'd
Yeah,
say
let's
we
do that,
just
let's do that.
those couple games.
Oh,
I got
boy.
them pulled up real quick if we
Yeah.
want.
How many are there? 3?
3. It's just 3.
Lions playing,
have-
I'm assuming. Lions, Cowboys.
What?
No. First we
Those
have
Lions.
Bills Lions
Week
at
12, right?
11 at 11:30. Yeah, week 12.
On Thursday,
Yep, this
Okay.
coming Thursday.
Bills at Lions. The
At
Buffalo
11:30
Bills.
a.m. Wow.
Bills' second game in Detroit
Yeah, they're
in
just gonna
2
stay
weeks.
there.
Are they
Yeah, I
really?
guess they might.
I
Probably
mean,
not. They're probably gonna want to go home
I
and see their
highly.
family.
They can hardly.
No, they'll
They're
make.
hardly gonna be
Well,
able to
since
get
since
out.
it's a Thursday game, I guess they
I
probably
was gonna
will
say
stay there.
they play on Thanksgiving. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll have 3 days to practice.
Well, he might let me get the family with them.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
The Bills were like, I don't want you to stay in this 8-foot snow. Like, come on.
They're just leaving just now. I just read.
I say this every week, but I really do think the Lions are a much better team than
They
their
are,
record
but
shows.
I
But
can't
they're
choose
not
the
gonna lose
Lions
to
over
the
the
Bills.
Bills, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, Buffalo.
So
Oh,
the
by the
next
way,
game.
we forgot to mention this, but the Chiefs are top of the AFC now after
Yes,
that
sir.
wild Vikings-Bills game. Huge. Let's hope we can hold on to it for the rest of the season.
We'll get to that a little later, but yes.
Next game, Giants Cowboys at 3:30 p.m.
I think
This will be a great game, I think.
so too.
I
I
think
think the
this will be the
Cowboys.
game of the day.
I think the
I
Giants
agree.
are gonna come back and have a revenge game against the Cowboys and hand them an L this time.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing pretty much. I think the Cowboys are probably the better team, but I think they're close enough, and especially them being division rivals, I think they're going to split the season series. And since the Cowboys already won their earlier matchup, I think that means that the Giants are going to win on Thanksgiving Day.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I can't remember the last time the Cowboys lost on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
They
that's
do
true.
love themselves some
Actually,
turkey
So-
legs.
last year
Wait, it was last
against
year?
the Raiders, yeah.
Oh
Daniel
yeah,
Carlson
dude,
hit a.
that was
It
a
was a
wild
nice
game.
game, yeah.
What a
Daniel
throw.
Carlson hit a kicker in a field goal in overtime. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Well, this is a revenge game
But
for the
before
Cowboys.
that,
Before that, yeah.
Here, let me check just to make sure.
I swear it was like 31-28 Raiders.
36-33 Raiders.
Oh, I was close.
You were. Wait,
But
you just said he hit a field goal in overtime. So why did you think it was a 7-point game?
I said 31-28.
Oh, I thought you said 38.
Oh no.
Anywho,
Anyway.
I got the Cowboys.
Fair enough.
Same.
Yeah, I have the Giants.
Giants. All right, our final game on Thanksgiving. Patriots Vikings.
This is a pretty stacked Thanksgiving, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean,
Three
I'm excited to
solid
watch all
games.
these games.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Bills Lions will be a blowout, but I think the other two should be very close. We already mentioned it. Patriots have a good defense. I just don't think it's going to be able to be good enough to keep them in this game. I think the
Mm-mm.
Vikings
Okay,
are going to
so
take it.
I am. Up until this point, I have always been the AFC is the better conference.
Oh,
And up until last week, I
Hmm?
do not care what you guys had to say. The AFC was the better conference. But the Vikings finally in it. The NFC is an equal lead in the AFC. They are not better than the
oh
AFC.
my God!
They are
Wow.
not better than the AFC.
This is
But-
like
I can agree
Noah.
with that.
This is like Noah character art. We are seeing some.
I cannot believe this.
We are seeing some changes to
Puts a
Noah throughout
smile
the
on my
season of the Judgeship
face, man.
WaspCast. This is like anime, like story arc, like beautiful.
Oh, come on, nobody wants to hear me. What
True.
have I been saying this entire time now?
Speaking of anime, I remember Kane started trying to watch anime. He was like, "Bro,
It's-
watch
yeah, I
anime. It's
can't do
actually
it.
kind of good." And then like he stopped like a week later. Was like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway, what were you
Anyway.
saying, Noah?
This entire time, I said what? I say I want
AFC is
a
miles better
no.
than the NFC.
Well, I have said that. But the other thing I've been saying,
The problem
Is
wasn't
I
that
want-
hang on.
The
I
Eagles have
want-
not played a good team.
I want a good NFC to play a good AFC team. Right? I've been saying that. It finally happened, and the Vikings won. Granted, I don't know how they won. The The Bills, I still don't know what you were doing. But, yeah, that the NFC is equal in the AFC.
The problem wasn't your take that the AFC was better than the NFC. The problem was how you used the take to decide your games. Like, anytime an AFC or NFC team would play each other, you'd be like, well, the AFC's better, so that means the team in the AFC is going to win.
Like Travis and Jason Kelsey say in their podcast, any given Sunday, anything,
You're
any
correct.
given Sunday, any team can win. It's not like college.
Yeah.
College is any given Saturday at times.
Any different Saturday if they're actually both kind of good. But, like,
Well, yeah.
Ohio State might
but,
lose
like,
in
there's no
Maryland.
shot. Yeah. But, like, there's no
Anyway,
shot Ohio State's losing to some D2 school.
Maryland is not
I
a
think
team. I
that's all those
got you.
games. So,
Yep.
you guys ready to get into the Chiefs Chargers preview?
I
Let's
have never
do
been
it.
more ready.
Let's do it, baby. All
All
right.
right. Some important things to know right before we hop into things is that Michael Hardman has been placed on the injured reserve, so that means he'll be out for at least the next 4
At
games.
least.
Juju has a concussion and is out this week from that hit against them last week, which means that the Chiefs have called up wide receivers Marcus Kemp and Cornell Powell from the practice squad for tomorrow's game against the Chargers.
Cornell Powell?
Another important thing to note is that Mike Williams is questionable, and is Keenan Allen out for sure? Is he questionable?
No,
Or
they've both practiced fully this
so
whole week.
they're both
And
questionable.
well, Mike Williams said he should be out there.
Yeah,
And then I don't know about Keenan Allen.
Well,
I
when they're fully practicing, they're playing.
not
Not necessarily.
necessarily.
Yeah, I suppose. But how often is it?
Especially Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's fully practiced and then missed 2 weeks after he fully practiced.
Wow, that's insane.
Because they were just
I
too scared about his hamstring.
Good point.
then their status is going to be huge for this game because this could. I mean, this could go from
Even if Keenan Allen
Walmart
does play, I think he's
wide
just gonna
receivers on
freaking.
both sides to them having a healthy wide receiver core and us being banged up, which would
Hey,
play a
look,
big defense.
it's he was
Big
brother.
difference.
It's turn the ball over his brother. He might beat
Hey,
Ohio State.
could this be when Brett Veach ramps up the OBJ agenda?
Oh, I
All
mean,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
ooh.
Cole Hardman out for at
Well,
least the next 4 games. From what I've heard, it sounds like it could be like 6 weeks, maybe.
OBJ's good to go, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just waiting to get the right deal.
also, Cornell Powell is that Clemson receiver that we drafted pretty
We
high and
drafted him
did
last year.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I'm excited for Justin Ross to come back next year. I think he could, if he stays healthy, he'll play.
hmm I mean, yeah, I thought I didn't really talk about this on the pod because we didn't have it at the time, but I thought Justin Ross was one of the biggest acquisitions during the draft.
One of the
Obviously, he was an
biggest
unsigned
steals.
free agent, but you know, because of his history, it was a win-win situation. We had nothing to lose, and whenever he was healthy, he proved that he had a ton of potential. So I think if he can stay healthy, he could be really good for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. So I would like to start us off with our keys to victory.
You would?
I would. Keys to victory. Let's see. Number one, we have to play good against wide receivers. We always let Mike Williams look like Randy Moss every time we play the Chargers. Mike Williams always looks like the best receiver in the league every time he plays us for no reason. So we got to make sure we suppress their receiving game, regardless if those two are playing or not, and especially because Austin Eckler's a huge passing back. So yeah. Number two, open field tackles. They're gonna check the ball down a lot to Austin Eckler and just let him run like he always does. We have to make our tackles.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, yeah, he's such a shifty, he's such a good player, and we have to really stop him. Number 3, get off of our blocks. We have to get off our blocks too, because we all know what happens whenever they put a fullback in, and if they put Xander Horvath in and they come up and block us, then we might just be screwed. Who knows? Because we are terrible when there's fullbacks. We have to get off our blocks, and we have to go make the tackle, even
And
when it's hard.
I really am shocked we didn't see that against the Titans or the Jags very much.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I know the Jags or the Titans are a team that typically just puts Derrick Henry in the backfield and has him sprint at people with no fullback, but I feel like looking at film, seeing how clear of a weakness that is, you have to throw a fullback into more of those
Mhm.
sets.
Yeah, going all defensive this week. All 3 of my keys to victory. I think our offense is gonna be good this week.
I'll go
I hope
next.
so.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Wait, Jan.
I'm done.
Okay, sorry. Number one. Here's what your make it is. Plain and simple. Don't miss anything.
This does feel like a week that could be heavily
This is
determined by
this is probably the whoever. If we win this, we'll win
the
the
kicks.
division. We're
going
not
back,
gonna lose 3 games.
going back to what you were saying, Cameron,
I think even if we lose this, we still win the
about
division pretty
Butler
easily.
having
But
had issues in the past. I don't remember the year, but there was a season where at SoFi in LA, Butler made a walk-off game-winning field goal from like 50 some odd yards, and then he went into a slump where he was missing hits like he has been, and all of a sudden he was looking, like one of the not the worst hitters in the league, but more like an average hitter instead of a top 2 or 3 field goal hitter. And
Mhm.
but this week, I think this would be a sneaky game. In the case it could be a trap game if they're not careful.
oh,
You
I
have
disagree completely. I think
it could be. It could
I don't
be.
think you can classify a team against a 5-4.
As a trap game,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the Chargers are a very good team, and the Chiefs know that. If we lose, it's not because we didn't like. It's just because we didn't play well enough or we weren't
Right.
prepared enough, not because we played down to them.
What I'm trying to get at here is you gotta make it hit, so else you
Yeah.
gotta count it losing. Secondly, offense, no mistakes offensively. Um, you saw it 2 weeks ago against the Titans, since we didn't have a podcast last week. I'll shortly go over the offensive struggles. I think Mahomes said after the game that the Titans, um, played a lot of like New England style defense. He switched a lot of coverages and gave Mahomes and Andy Reid a lot of different looks.
They probably played a lot
And
of shell that game.
that really confused Mahomes and they could never get in a rhythm. And that makes sense with Vrabel being from, having formerly been a Patriot in his playing days. But back to the Chargers game, the offense that needs to play his football, take what the defense gives you, and no mistakes there. Don't force anything on Mahomes' side. Defensively, my last key, I think I said this week 2, was it? When we played the first
Yeah, it
time
was
at
week 2.
Arrowhead. The defense has to be ready for 4th downs. I mean, we all know the story. Brandon Staley is not his name, the head coach.
Yep.
He's insane. He goes for a lot of 4th downs
Yeah, he goes for it all the time. He's very aggressive.
all the time. The most aggressive I have ever seen an NFL head coach.
I don't know. Mike McCarthy's pretty aggressive too.
Yeah, but at least when he does it, it works more than half the time.
Yeah.
Like, the defense needs to maybe a little extra,
Defense needs to play like it's 4 downs in and out, not 3
right,
and out.
right. I
Yeah.
think maybe a little extra cardio, perhaps, like stamina up a little more. You don't need, you need to have the energy for 4 downs, not 3.
Hmm.
And,
Especially if we
in,
go up in the game,
in
then
years
there's gonna be
past,
one.
that's what the case. I
Yep.
think it was 2 years ago in that wild game where Kelsey,
With the Bills.
no, I was gonna say the Chargers, but
The OT one?
the OT one where
That was
Kelsey
last year, I
won and
think.
game in OT.
Yeah.
That game wouldn't have been that close if we had stopped a couple of those 4 downs. When you need to make sure we get off the field, on 4 downs, and it would be nice if we didn't even let them get to the point where it was absolutely not possible to go for it on 4 down. But
Yeah.
that's what it is.
This might be the first week where we all have relatively different keys to victory. I'm proud
Dude,
of
I'd
us.
just like to say our offensive line against the Titans looked like our one against the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was
It
rough.
was terrible.
But they showed up when it mattered.
True, true.
And they looked good last week.
Yeah.
Gave,
Go ahead.
gave up no sacks. Anyway, my keys to victory. My first key is that Patrick Mahomes has to take what is given to him. He's been pretty good about this year, but we've seen in years past that he has, or at least used to have, a bad habit of waiting and trying for something deep to develop. But especially with
With no
with
Tyree.
2 wide receivers out this week, I think he has to be, he has to be smart, takes what's given to him, because those deep routes and those routes that take a while to develop might not be there with our top guy and Michael Hardman both hurt. My second key to victory is that our run game has to be good this week. I have a feeling we're going to be forced to run it a good bit because, again, we have 2 guys out. I think that's going to be a big blow to us. I mean, our 4 wide receivers this week are, we have Kadarius Toney and MVS, who I'm both pretty confident in.
Justin Watson.
Especially Kadarius Toney, I'm very confident in him. Justin Watson, who's
Watson's I
shown
feel like he's
flashes.
always reliable, I feel like.
Justin
He just doesn't
Watson
get the
has
ball to him
definitely
as
shown
much.
flashes of greatness, I think,
And
this
then
year.
Sky, right?
Yep. Sky Moore, who I think is solid, he just hasn't been utilized a whole lot. And then we also have Cornell Powell and Marcus Kemp, who will be put in the mix a little bit
I
too.
don't like Marcus
So
Kemp.
those are all guys who I definitely think has the potential. I don't think none of them are necessarily horrible, but there are also a lot of unproven talents in that wide receiver core, and I'm a little worried about that. So our running game has to be efficient. O-line has to do a good job of protecting Mahomes because, to give the wide receivers more time to get open. And then my third key to victory is that we have to find a way to contain Mike Williams. It feels like every time he plays the Chiefs, he turns into Randy Moss 2.0. He just dunks on us
I
all
wonder
the
where
time.
that came from.
I mean, he's always like. Did you say that directly?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. um, like
Could
he's
have at
always
least said
good.
Terrell Owens or someone.
I wasn't even paying attention. My bad. He's always pretty good, but it feels like, especially against the Chiefs, he just turns into a different animal. He always plays good against us, and we just need to find a way to contain him, especially if Keenan Allen's not playing. Mike Williams is going to be that guy for us or for them. And we talked about it week 2 whenever we played him, but Spags has to be smart about who he's putting against Mike Williams. Like, there's no reason we should have uh not our top guys covering him, right?
Put Trent McDuffie on him.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with Legarius Sneed covering him, but I don't want, like, Jalen Williams. No disrespect to him, he's been
Jalen
good.
Watson.
My bad. I mixed the
You're
2
mixing up
rookies.
Joshua Williams and
I mixed
Jalen Watson.
the two rookies together. But yeah, I don't think we should put either of the 2 other rookies on him. No disrespect to them, they've been solid. I just don't think that's a smart matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just be smart about that. Don't let him take over this game, and I think we should be fine.
really quickly adding on to one of your points, I feel like Bienemy and Andy did a very good job at establishing the run game and not giving up on it last week.
Oh yeah, last
I
week
feel
was
like we
great. I
really
think.
just ran with Pacheco and didn't give up on it.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Although
if we
last
can do
week
that moving forward, that'd be nice.
we could kind of do whatever we wanted last week. This week, I'm worried that we're going to be forced into the run game
Yeah,
instead of just,
and
wanting to go into the run game. You know what I
also
mean?
like another thing I heard from Travis Kelsey, he makes really good points. Um, Spags and the defense just continue like the more the season goes on, the better the defense gets. It feels like I feel like that happens every single year, where we start off and everyone's always panicking about
That
how our
is very
defense
true.
isn't going to be bad, and then we always end up like,
I feel
oh,
like
we're
our
the top
defense always
defense in the
shows up.
league, and I feel like it always
Yeah.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can keep doing that, then that would be really great.
I mean, really, ever since the Spags era, that's happened pretty much every year.
I know we always say about
Okay, hang
fire
on.
Spags and all that, but this year hasn't been that bad. Not gonna lie.
Where are you going?
Check who's at the door, if I had to guess. Um, Technical difficulties. There's dogs barking. Everyone. Sorry about that. Anyway, Noah,
Yes.
while we wait for
Yeah.
him, um,
What's
so
next on the hit list?
I can't remember what I was
We'll
gonna say.
start next. We'll start.
Well, there's nothing much left, but
Oh, it's final score predictions, right?
yeah.
People in the chat, if there's anybody left after King's terrible take. If you would like to, ask any questions, put them in the chat. We
You're
will
welcome
answer
to.
them, after this last little segment. King's not here, so I will start with my final score prediction. In the last thoughts. I think following, what we all said with the East victory, if the East defense can contain the wide receivers and there are no glaring mistakes on the offensive side or
Mhm.
on special teams. I think the East should win this. It will be another Chargers Chiefs game, but I think the Chiefs will win by a score of 25 to 24.
35-24. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. This game, I think it'll be a good game. Every Chargers Chiefs game is a good game, but I think ultimately our offense is going to be overpowering. I think we're actually going to win 28 to 17.
Ooh. Noah had 25 to 24.
I had
No,
35
35
24.
Oh,
20.
35 to 24. Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I think
On the
this is
outside.
gonna be. Well, Anthena was here for a
Oh.
second.
Oh.
I think this is gonna be a Kadarius Sony takeover game. I think he's starting to learn the playbook now, and we're gonna need to rely on him heavily. Because I mean, Travis Kelsey is gonna be double teamed every play, especially with two of our starting wide receivers out, right? So I
He
think.
still finds a way to do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm
I
sure
think he'll have a great
Travis is
game
gonna
still.
find it, or
He
is gonna
always
have a
has a
good
great
game.
game against the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Kadarius Sony is also gonna need to take over.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a good game. Thank God I picked him up on fantasy. I think that we are going to win 24 to 21.
By a field
Okay.
goal.
Yep.
Do you think it comes down to a game-winning field goal, or do you think the defense stops them at the end?
Feels like it's always a defense stop to end it. And they're gonna
I
make
like
it
it.
really stressful on us. They're gonna it's gonna be like
come
the
on.
Raiders game. Like we're gonna leave somebody wide open and then he's gonna somehow drop it.
Come on, like every East game is stressful now, so.
Yeah, I mean we cannot just win a comfortable game anymore.
Well,
We
that's
always
what the
play
Chiefs
down
are
to our
known for.
opponents. Yeah,
So,
it's so annoying. Like, being a Chiefs fan sucks sometimes. I'm gonna be real.
like, we're not trying to be selfish, you poor freaking Lions, Jaguars,
Raiders.
Texans fans, but
Just be better.
it's hard. It is
It,
hard.
it really is hard.
It's harder than it sounds.
Especially before the Mahomes era, like we were constantly good and just lost games in the friggin' stupidest way ever.
I mean,
Especially
yeah,
in the playoffs. We
in the
lost a game in
playoffs,
the
yeah.
playoffs where
We'd
they
make the
didn't score
playoffs
a
like every
touchdown.
freaking year. We'd make the playoffs every freaking year, and we just could not do anything.
It was rough until the Mahomes era. Thank God for Mahomes,
I
our Lord and Savior.
Alright. So we all
And
played at
thank
the
the Lord
Chiefs.
for hopefully Patrick Mahomes the third that grows up to be a Kansas City Chiefs and plays another 35 years.
Have they
Once
announced the
Patrick
gender
leaves.
yet?
It's a boy.
It's a boy, for sure.
That was announced
Nice.
like months ago.
Ah, shoot. Well then, yeah, he's gonna be the best ever.
Don't play basketball though. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
I think we continue the dynasty. I think Mahomes plays until his kid's old enough, and then he retires and
I
passes
was
the
gonna say,
torch
I
on
think
to his son.
with how good Mahomes is, I don't think there's any way Mahomes doesn't raise him to be a football guy.
Who knows?
Well,
Mahomes is good at
his
basketball
dad
too.
played
You're right.
football, or his dad played baseball. Patrick plays football, so maybe he'll play like basketball and create the greatest like three-sport
That's literally
dynasty
what
of all
Noah just
time.
said. Noah just said that and said
There's-
complete the trifecta, but it's okay because Noah does that to us all the time.
Anywho,
Sure.
we are rambling at this point.
Yep.
I see no questions in the chat, so I suppose we will go ahead and wrap this thing up.
Happy Red Saturday.
Hammond,
Happy Red Saturday. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope you have a good one.
Yep.
Go eat
Yes.
some food.
also,
Watch some football. Have fun
Do
with your
not
family.
bake your mac and cheese.
Nope.
Make it nice and creamy.
I would be, we would be remiss if we did not, send our condolences out to Virginia, the University of
Yep.
Virginia, and the University of Idaho. If you don't know what happened, just look it up. It's all over social media and
Disgusting.
the internet. It's sickening, really, that we live in this world.
Yep.
And
And there's no changes happening at all.
yeah,
Yes.
it seems like there's never going to be a change. I
I-
mean,
I'm
this
not-
has been happening for years, and everybody's just ignorant to it. It's very sad.
None of us here are gonna pretend like we have the answers, but we need to change.
And we need to do
And
it fast.
it needs to happen quickly. It cannot keep happening. But I did not mean to end the show on a counter. I wanted to do that at the captain show, but
Like I
forgot.
said, anyway, on to a better note.
Any last
Eat some
thoughts?
food. Eat some food. Watch some football. Spend time with your family.
Mhm.
Live, laugh, play games.
Don't do it, Cameron. Okay.
All that.
Thought you
I
were
was
going to turn
not-
into a white mom.
Just have a good week.
Watch some high quality
We
football.
we should be back Friday. If not, we'll be back Saturday.
If we're not lazy.
What's
Yeah.
what's next week's matchup?
Next week is
Chiefs versus Rams, I think.
he's at Rams, right?
I think.
So we play Matt Wilson.
Be
Away.
here to see what our thoughts are about that game.
That would be Matt Wilson so far for the
Yep,
Chiefs.
we do play the Rams, and after that we play the Bengals. Revenge game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well,
All right.
Eamon, any last thoughts, Eamon?
Nope.
Hayne, any last thoughts?
Joe Burrow.
Don't eat
That's my
turkey,
last
eat
thought.
ham.
Don't bake your mac and cheese. I know I already said it, but that is very important that you do not bake your mac and cheese.
No, peace. We're out. Peace.
Goodbye.